could not believe my eyes. He's alive. Odysseus, my son, is still alive. After all these years, I saw my son. He's been gone so long. I remember when he was a child and he would run around the palace. His eyes would brighten up every time he saw me. I guess a lot has happened since that time. For his eyes do not brighten at the sight of me like they used to. Could it be because the war brought him back a new, changed man? Or is it because he stood in the realm of Hades, a living man amongst the dead, seeing his mother for the first time after 13 years, as a ghost? How it must pain him to see me this way. When I first glanced at him, I was unable to look him in the eye. Not out of guilt, but because I was shocked. I was in disbelief that my son stood only a few feet away. It took time for my head to understand and process this. As I approached him, I could see the pain and suffering in his eyes. How I longed to ask him about his journey and hardships, but in fear that it may pain him, as well as me, to recall his tale, I remained silent. I vaguely questioned him about his journey home from Troy, but he was eager to know all that was happening in his homeland. Oh, how he must miss Ithaca. I answered his questions, but of all his inquiries, the one that he seemed most curious about was my death. Though he tried to hide it with a strong front, I saw how the fear of not knowing how I came to die stung him deep inside. For a mother knows her son. I could see he wished me peace and a painless passing, but instead I burdened him with guilt. When I told him I passed grieving for him, my son, tears flooded to his eyes, but full of pride, my brave son would not dare to let his mother see him cry. When he was a young boy, I would hold him in my arms, knowing I could never be unhappy with him by my side. How I yearned to hold him as I did when he was a child. But alas, the curse of nobody impeded our efforts to return to those happy moments. I said my goodbye. He returned it with a forced smile and his own goodbye. When I turned and left him, I wept as I imagined all the obstacles he has had to face. A mother's love for her child is unmatched by any other. But I do believe that Odysseus' love for me does match mine for him. Oh, how I wish for his safe passage home, to see his wife and son, and I hope to never see him here again. For the next time, he will be one of us. I pray you good luck, my son, the unluckiest man alive.